Greetings everyone, it's Mikhail and welcome to my new tutorial. So this time I want to share with you some sort of procedural stones generated inside Cinema 4D without any third-party plugins. I'm just running into some interesting technique with volumes. I want to share it with you, so no more words, let's jump to Cinema 4D. First thing first, let's create just a simple landscape. Okay, we create this one. Yep, and I want to go to the landscape attributes and switch to spherical. By default looks like that. Let me actually decrease the size of this. Yeah, press NB to show the polygons. I would prefer increase segments by, I would say 400, that's enough. Let me play around with scale here to create some kind of rocky surface here. We already created something nice, but what if we want to create kind of debris? It's pretty straightforward. Let's place our landscape inside volume builder. By default we have this one, volume type, sign distance field. Let me switch it to fog. Yeah, let me change voxel size. Let's start from 1. And I want to create kind of fields in order to control this volume builder. So I want to use group field, because when you use group field, it allows you to create various kind of fields inside this field, and we can easily, I would say, direct it, readjust and create something new. So we got this group field. Let's call it noise, okay, and create our first field. I would say box. So we got this one. Let me place this noise group field inside volume builder. Let me go to the volume builder and switch this noise group field creation space from the box to object below. So we already got something. Let me place my volume builder inside volume measure, and voila, we got some kind of damaged surface. As we use this box field as a, I would say, restriction, as a field which cut off our surface, we can easily play around with it, create some sort of this one, okay, and we also can change size for that, like that, and as you see, we got really nice damaged, I would say, surface damage debris. One more thing, if we go to the volume measure, I would prefer change adaptiveness to 1, actually 0.1. We got this one, not bad, and we can also play around with box field again, increase size like that, increase size here as well, just to get kind of debris. Yeah, so take a look, we got pretty nice debris. Yeah, so, and if you go to the landscape, you can play around with seed to calculate different types of debris, like that, or like that, or like that maybe. Let me switch to original one. And of course, all these parameters inside landscape you also can play around. So it's, as you see, it's pretty nice technique. Actually, there is one drawback. If you want to keep this setup procedural, it's hard to texture it. The only one thing which allows you to texture this proper way is use procedural shaders like a C4D noises, because they can apply on this surface in proper way. In case you want to get proper UV, you have to convert it as a polygon object. But let's move forward. It's just one thing I want to share with you today. So actually, let me change like that. We got pretty nice damage now surface, especially if you want to render some sort of maybe beauty brand. Just I would say place some of the product here, or something. So let's move forward. actually we have pretty clean, I would say, you know, this and this surface. What if we want to add additional deformation? Let's go to the noise group field and create random here. So by default we got this one, some sort of curl, yeah, because we have used, by default it uses like blending mode equal like a max. Let me switch to multiply. Okay, we got something curly, yeah, but that's okay. Let me switch noise type from Berlin to, I would say, maybe actually Voronoi free. Because Voronoi free calculates a lot of stones, you know, and before we jump next stage, let me actually show you an interesting thing. Sometimes you need to calculate kind of instance for your particles or for your upcoming rigid body simulation or something. So in this case, I found this technique really interesting. Let me create just a simple floor, increase segments here, okay. Apply my collider tag, increase friction by 2 maybe, and let me apply actually let me place this volume measure inside homograph fracture and choose mode from straight to explode segment and connect. So right now we can apply simulation rigid body tag over this surface. Let me actually switch to, yeah, it's calculating, waiting a bit, a lot of polygons here. Okay, let me revert my camera, yeah, it was hard to calculate with. Okay, so we, something wrong, let me, okay, choose it. Okay, so I think that's too much maybe. Let me actually change my box Y size by, let's start from 20 centimeters, yeah, and activate my Voronoi fracture again, and let me press play. It should apply to all these individual pieces. Take a look. We calculate pretty fast procedurally, you know, different types of stones, and that's pretty nice if you want to very fast achieve this result for your, I don't know, commercial work or your personal work, doesn't matter. Take a look, pretty fast, yeah. So let me deactivate it. Let me switch my box field to, I don't know, 80 for instance, okay. So as you see, we got this one. Let me go to the noise, and in this case I want to switch this noise scale from 100% to 500 maybe. And actually take a look, we got a lot of big chunks, I would say. Let me activate my fracture object, press play, and we got this one. I think it's pretty nice, yeah. So so far so good. Actually I want to create a bit different thing, because I want to somehow I would say distort some of the surfaces like that. When we play around with opacity, we can apply something like that, and maybe not Voronoi, maybe just a Berlin noise in this case. In order to get a bit more distortion, take a look, we have distortion here and here, just a not perfect surface. Sometimes it's necessary because we want to create more realistic result. Take a look, we got this one, pretty nice, yeah. So let's keep it for now like that, create a camera, okay, and let me switch my focal length by 100 for instance, move it back a bit, okay, open my redshift, let me create first light, okay, I would prefer use animation tag target. I use my, let's say, volume measure as a target. Let me move my light here, increase size, place it here. By default intensity of this light 100, let me switch to 10, maybe 20, and play around a bit with spread, 0.6 maybe. Let me run my IPR. Okay, let me switch from original size to fit to window. and take a look. We got something interesting. Actually, let me switch by 1200 by 1200, maybe increase size for my plane here. Let me find interesting angle. So, and play around a bit with, I think, lighting, maybe a bit change size just to get interesting shadows. Let me deactivate visibility for viewport, and if right now I choose it, I think I can use dynamic placement tools to place it directly on the floor. Yeah, let me check. Yep, I think that's on the floor right now. Yeah, and voila, we got this one. We just need to a bit readjust shading for that. So if you go to the volume builder, we can play around with fog smooth and got a more smoothie shape like that, you know. But I want to balance out between maybe 20% just to smooth it a bit with sharp edges, you know, maybe just a 10, okay. If you want to get more details here, you can switch voxel size like a 0.5 or 0.8, you know, but let's keep it for now like this, and let's create just a simple standard material. Apply it over the, it doesn't matter, over fracture or over volume measure, and I want to use some sort of noise. Actually, I prefer use max on noise. Let me switch to solo mode. Okay, by default it uses just a Perlin noise. Let me switch to, I would say, FBM. Increase overall scale by 800. Okay, and maybe just a bit cycle it. Let me check. Just to get some of the white area and some of the black area. And one of the crucial things is octaves, you know. By default it's just 5. Let me increase by 20 to get more detailed noise here. So, and I want to use displacement shader. Just connect my noise as a texture, connect my displacement to the displacement. Okay, deactivate my solo mode. Nothing much happening. That's because we have to apply render tag, RS object tag, geometry, activate override, activate tessellation, and activate displacement as well. So let me check it. Yeah, we got something here. Yeah, take a look. And we actually should change maybe color. I don't know, let's try to find something, maybe something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and also play around with reflections. We don't need too much reflections, and we have to increase roughness because we are talking about rocky surface, and actually here in displacement. First thing first, I would prefer change old range max from 1 to 0.7, I would say. Okay, and might be increase scale here by 2 to get more details. Yeah, I think it right now it's mostly about lighting. Let me just check my lighting here just to find interesting camera angle and light angle. I like this one, take a look. Yeah, and if you want to get more details, you can increase displacement here as well. Yeah, we got more details, so take a look. We create this rocky surface. Let me create just a dome light, decrease exposure by -3, I would say, and maybe just a bit change kind of color for that to get this result. Let me check without this. Maybe one more light, just drag and drop it. Yeah, and place it maybe back like that. Yeah, and maybe decrease spread for this light. Actually not spread, let me back spread and increase intensity here. Yep, move it light back because it's visible, I think, here, like that. Okay, we emphasize this part, we somehow emphasize this part. So it's not a Redshift tutorial, I would say, but anyway, take a look. We create a really nice shape, you know, really nice rocky shape. So, and if you want to play around with it, we can change seed for our landscape, and voila, we got one more, you know. And I think that's pretty nice technique if you want to procedurally calculate your own stone or your own I would say elements for your render or something and play around with it. So just use it. I use it often for my commercial and my art project. So project file will be available on my Patreon page in the shop. You can download it. In case you are my subscriber on the Patreon design on extended tier, you get it for free. Also a lot of nice tutorials which I create for my Patreon. So I think that's it. Maybe a bit readjust shader, just bring more maybe life in this. Let me actually create, I don't know, change color, make it like this. Okay, and actually I like it. So I think you got interesting technique from me today, because I'm decided to share it with you guys. And I know I'm not so often updated my YouTube channel. I do my best actually, but I don't have enough time to create every maybe week new tutorial. But when I run into some interesting technique like that, and I can share it very fast, you know, without any preparation of my tutorials like I do for my Patreon, I'm ready to share it. So I think that's it. Let me change my camera like that. So I think that's it, and thank you for your time. Leave a comment below, subscribe me on YouTube as well. Thank you guys, bye bye.